just got to record a little bit more. So these are my hand controls. The gentleman has been super quick. We had to have this one modified just a little bit more. The brake had to be drilled. Unfortunately, this car wouldn't allow us to connect it to the actual brake rod over there, but it's connected that way, and it runs up the shaft, and then that's the handle. The gentleman has to adjust it still to put it in there, but this process takes anywhere from 4 to 6 hours to complete. This is a used set that I had already had, so it's costing us between $600 and $700 to have this done professionally. If we have to buy the controls, meaning I have to have everything with it, that's around $12, probably $1,300 after tax. So it gets a little expensive, and it makes wanting to change vehicles a little less desirable. So once we get one of these on, this is a full day process. So my wife and I had to take the day off, work, come to Columbus. We can do some other things while we're here, but basically having to do this can be time consuming. So this is one of the challenges that we face. Once it's done, and no harm, no foul. It's just you're not as willing to get rid of the car or change cars because you have to go through this every single time. That's all for now. Hi again. So now we're back here in the waiting room because this is not a quick process. I said it's 4 to 6 hours, and it's pretty average. So I'm going to talk to my wife about her thoughts on having to do all this once we figure out how to turn that camera back around. You're being recorded. What? So, yeah. How sad do you feel about having to take the day off, get up the butt crack of dawn, and drive your car, 60 miles to get it fixed?
Sleepy.
Sleepy? Why are you sleepy?
Because I am sleepy.
Sleepy? Because you didn't sleep for almost 24 hours?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's it like to have to be patient and wait for all this stuff? Most of your friends, their husbands just, if you guys want to go get a car, you can just go hop in it and take off. We can't do that.
Oh, well. What do you mean?
Well, I already told our viewers that, when we do this, the likelihood that we'll get rid of this car drops precipitously because we have to do this every time we get a car. And it's a real pain in the butt. It's not just the cost, which is expensive. It's not just the time. It's also it's kind of both. So, okay. So anyway, I should also mention that I'm very thankful that there are places like this that can do these things. The staff here has been really wonderful, and they've been super accommodating and been very helpful. And the gentleman fixing the tech is very quick. So, okay, honey, we were talking about, how you felt about having to do this stuff. This is kind of different than, being that you're from the Philippines. Do they have this kind of stuff back home? Do you know?
I do think they do, but it's kind of limited for those people who doesn't have really money. You know what I mean? Maybe for higher, upper class people, maybe they do have it. Maybe. Or mostly, in our current country, we just hire drivers.
Yeah.
They hire drivers, not people or middle class people or like me back home.
That makes sense. There's a lot of traffic, especially being that you're from an area where there's a lot of people, so there's probably smarter not to drive. Yeah. And it's a lot like LA traffic, which I wouldn't want to drive in. Mm-hmm. I've ridden in LA traffic. I've never driven in. I have driven in Dallas before. That was a nightmare. Quite a bit different than even here in Columbus.
Yeah, and in Philippines, how is it? Only rich people have those kind of cars that have a lift or highly equipped cars for people with physical challenge.
I'm kind of starting to think that's true here. After some of the vans we've looked at, oh my God, they're super expensive.
It is.
It's ridiculous.
But the thing is, here, you guys are still lucky because you could just loan money from your bank and something, and it's easier. Back home, you cannot just do loan just like that unless you have a really, really good record. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
So do you have well, I'm about to run out of here, about 10 more seconds, 30 more seconds worth of film left. So we may have to continue the discussion.
Just stop it.
So I was asking Alda about what it was like to have this kind of stuff in the Philippines if they had it. I know when I traveled there, I was still able to walk, and even that was a bit of a challenge for me. So yeah, it's probably more recommended that if you can hire a driver there, I would just do that. It's just easier, like driving in LA. Okay, so do you think you have any recommendations for your friends, or what would they do if they found themselves in a situation?
What do you mean situation?
Like if their husband became disabled and they needed to get kind of equipment.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah, you cannot change what will happen to your life. I mean, shit's happen, right?
Shit happens. We'll change the vlog name to Shit Happens.
Well, it's true. You cannot control it.
That's true.
Things will happen.
That's true.
And if you guys gonna be on my position, like you are married to someone who have limited, how do you say it?
Limited abilities.
Yeah, limited abilities. You know, I don't think it's not hard for me. It doesn't really.
I think maybe that's that Filipino toughness, because I think here, and here's where I'm going to get in probably a lot of trouble. I think people here crumble when something bad happens. They just fall apart. I think because just the way our culture has gone the last probably 50 years. I don't think
it's not all of you guys. It's just some of other people who are used to be spoon-fed, something like that. You know, they don't know how to handle when things hit them really hard.
That's true. I think it's more that entitlement where people have just been given things. I think when you give stuff to people all the time, that produces that mentality. You don't want that. Mm-hmm. But kind of like our dogs, they think they're entitled to everything we have, including our food.
Yeah.
But then again, we're stupid and we can give it to them because they're just so damn cute.
And they need to be on diet like their mama.
Yeah, Momo. No, Mama doesn't need diet, but Momo does. Momo's fat. We love Momo.